Good morning. It's May the 11th, 2017. Time to kick off our trading day with our customary disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay, today is the 30-year auction. It is the toughest piece of paper to move. That usually puts a floor on the market. The 3-year and 10-year auctions were pretty bad, 10-year especially. But the industry is short. They're heavily hedged, so buying those futures back, no matter what the stock market does, is probably what we're going to see in treasuries. Best resistance is at 4 to 8, and support really is at 20 to 24. That's the range. So the first sell up is 31 to 03. 03 would be a better sell, and then 7 to 11 for sell 2. On the buy side, 21 to 25, buy 1. 13 to 17, buy 2. Okay, we have the PPI news this morning. Last month it was a negative number. This month is forecast to be up 0.2. Core up 0.2. And jobless claims 244. And natural gas plus 52 BCF. The market's focus will be PPI, in my opinion, and the direction of the E-mini. Now, if we do have a selling auction today, the industry will be hedged, and it's usually Tuesday of the following week before the market gets hit hard again today. Market goes down, it'll be Tuesday of next week before they rally it back, and it almost always goes back to the average auction price before the issue is settled. Right now, everybody's playing for reflation, Fed raising interest rates in June, sell bonds, sell treasuries. And that's the environment that we're in. And that's what has taken prices lower. So focus will be PPI. It can move the markets, especially treasuries and gold. Doesn't usually have much of an effect on equities. Okay, 28 to the buck, number 1. Sell 3 to 7. Sell 11 to 15 for sell 2. Picking up this area right there. Both sells are above the mode mean, which is where we like it. On the buy side, last rotate down stopped at 15, so 16 to 20 is number 1. Buy 9 to 13, buy 1. And then 1 to 5, buy 2. Well, the puppy from hell struck yesterday. It was raining, and they'd been in the house about 6 hours, so I decided to put them outdoors and leave them outside. And when I came back out in an hour, he had torn down a hanging planter and pulled all the cocoa fiber out from around it. He'd been playing in the mud everywhere. He was just covered in mud, and he decided to lay on our white deck furniture. So my wife will be buying new pillows over the next couple of days. Charlie is the puppy from hell. But he's still just as lovable as can be. So you know what you get when you get a puppy. Mayhem. And the problem is that you get a puppy that weighs 85, 90 pounds like that. They can do a lot of damage quickly. But he has personality out the wazoo. Okay, we're back to our 25-27 in gold. We've got support was tested and it held. So 25 to 30 is where resistance is right now. So the first sell will be 25 to 27, sell 1. 29 to 31, sell 2. And if the PPI comes in greater than plus 0.2, even at plus 0.2, that is supported for gold. Bottom of value is 19, so 18 to 20 by 1. And then 14 to 16 by 2. Yeah. You know, and it's kind of like one of those deals. I mean, Charlie was just doing what Charlie does. I was the dummy. I set him up right. It's called entrapment, I think, is how his lawyer would defend Charlie in this particular situation. And we get to help the local economy, and my wife doesn't mind going out and buying pillows and such. But wow, what a mess. And so here I am bathing him, spraying him down on the driveway. He's covered in mud. And what is Charlie doing? He's attacking the end of the hose, getting after that water. So didn't faze him a bit. Okay, the euro is still pointed lower. We're at 75. I think it's coming out. So 50 to 60 by 1. We'll put a question mark at 75. And then 25 will be by 2. The news out of the EU overnight was actually a little bit better than forecast, as it has been this week. The news out of Great Britain: manufacturing production down, trade balance down, construction spending down, industrial production down. So the news out of the UK was not very good. 108.90 to 109 even, sell 1. 915, 925, sell 2. Pretty much where we were last night. But the questions coming out of Europe now, okay, Macron won. The structure of the EU is preserved for a bit longer. Now what? And you got the Italian bank problems. Several articles have been out about Greeks will never be able to repay their debt, and they won't. They've never been able to repay their debt. But the can has been kicked down the road pretty effectively to date. And so people are questioning what's the next step for the European Central Bank and the EU with the PIGS countries and actually with France. France needs, they at least need the EU and the European Central Bank to look the other way. Okay, here's the break in the market in crude, 48.25. We've got a P, we're pointed higher. Brent came back, so we're going to try for a little bit higher. I'm going to try to sell 48.25, 48.50, let them get stops above that. 48.75, 49. On the buy side, 25 to 50 by 1. And then 46.75, 47 even by 2. Yesterday's API, the day before yesterday's APIs and the IA numbers were very, very supportive. But again, given the fact that there's 375 to 380 million barrels storage capacity in the United States, what's a draw of 5 million barrels? Not much. And the news out of the fracking industry keeps getting better and better and better about actually not only regaining the lost the initial production, but really extending the life a great deal. And it looks like you're going to be able to go back and refrac often to keep those wells going, which is good news for North America, not so good news for OPEC. Okay, I don't have a real strong feeling on the E-mini today. It could sell pretty easily. I mean, support's at 23.80 to 85. Looks like we're going to test it. I would assume we're going to get stops below yesterday's lows. After that, I don't know. We've got a high volume area in this 84 to 86 area, so give it a little room. First buy 85, 87. Let it set up, and then 80, 82 for buy 2. 94, 96, sell 1. 99.01, sell 2. Still like the market longer term. Don't see any reason for it not to make new highs. I think everybody's awaiting the Trump tax package, and the market can't sell until then. And we don't get positive news on anything on the stock market except earnings are beating everybody's estimates for the most part. I think 80% of the companies reporting so far have beat the consensus estimate. So we'll get after it. We'll be back up with the bond numbers here shortly. I've got some stuff to get done. I'll be back with you as soon as possible. We'll be back for the bond numbers.